Let's call this meeting to order. Roll call.
McKnight, Myers,
Here.
Roa,
Here.
Vogel, Kinder.
Is the phone working? It says initial, not.
Initializing network, so we haven't called her yet. Here. Public comment, or no, pledge of allegiance. I'm sorry, the phone is throwing me
I know,
off.
do we need to?
You'll call her, I'll call her as soon as it comes up. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I could call it mine too. Do you want to, I don't know if you would like to. Yeah, that's okay, I could do it.
No pressure, he's got you on camera.
Hey, I'm gonna put you on speaker on my phone, because this one isn't working. Okay? All right. Oh, okay, all right. She's watching it on YouTube. All right, Autumn, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Public comment on agenda items.
None.
Presentation, Meadville Area Recreational Authority.
No.
Actually, as perhaps the newest member of the authority, less than 2 years, I might not be the most perfect person, but I want to thank everyone at City Council for the support and the interest that you've shown in the rec complex. Because of the importance we recognize of the rec complex, your authority with it is very important to us. And thank you very much.
Darla, will you state your name so she can,
My name is Ed Mallard.
thank you, Ed.
Mallard.
Thank you, Ed.
All right. I'm going to go over some of the highlights of 2024. I'm trying to keep it as brief as possible, but again, I want to just echo Ed's thank you very much for all the support you guys do. I mean, I know a lot of people don't know what you guys do for us, and not just financially, but everything else you guys do. So thank you. Some of the highlights of 2024, as everybody knows, it is our 50th anniversary year. So we have been tirelessly working on nonprofit stuff for our endowment and the MARF side of things, and then on the operating side as far as the MARA goes. So in 2024 so far, we've had roughly 68,000 people visit the MARC this year, which I think is a fantastic number. Last year we hit 72,000, so we'll be right around the same number as we were last year. If you dive into our financials, you'll see that all of our segments are up. As far as community partners are up, our pool revenue is up, rink revenue is up, and overall operations are up by about $30,000, which I think is a testament to the team that we have and the partners that we have. With operating revenue with operational revenues being up, also expenses have gone up. We've got a new administrative assistant. We now have an aquatics director, which is working very tirelessly on getting new programs installed, which we have a bunch of scholarships that we'll go over here in a little bit. As far as the partnerships go, we did add 2 new community partners. We did add Valonia and Gilday Group as 2 new partners, which we think is fantastic to the benefit to their employees. We also are doing a lot of things that are non-financial, like the garden is partnering with the Shade Tree Commission and the Market House to help them do some of their fundraising, and also to provide trees for any local groups, including the city of Meadville. Some of the challenges that we've had this year is maintenance. As we all know that the MARC is in its 50th anniversary, and so the infrastructure is getting a little bit old. We did spend over $30,000 just in water pumps this year, between sewage, rink side, and swimming pool pumps. We spent over $30,000, so that was a big hit to us, but we made through it, and I believe next year we're going to be doing a lot more spending conservatively to kind of look at that infrastructure. And we also have the city of Meadville looking into conditions assessment for us as well. So we think that's going to be a step in the right direction for the next few years to get the mark to keep moving forward. As far as the 50th anniversary goes, we've had plenty of events. I'm going to let John kind of talk a little bit about the events and some other things that he wants to talk about. But overall, I just want to say we raised over $60,000 in the last 6 months for our endowment, which is going to go a long way at sustaining the mark. Our goal is $150,000, and we're not going to rest until we get to that $150,000 for this year. And also the foundation has done a great job in raising money. They have over $180,000 in their account right now for capital improvements. So the MARF Foundation, if anybody doesn't know, is the capital arm of it, so it can't go towards any kind of operational things, but it does go to any of the capital improvements that we need, such as the pumps and infrastructure, software, and things like that. A big thing that the MARC has really grown this year is our scholarships. We believe that everybody in the community has a place at the MARC and has a program at the MARC. So we got together with some community leaders to come up with some different scholarship opportunities. We have the Opie Thomas Hockey Scholarship, we have the Learn to Swim Scholarship that was started by Dick Astor and his family, and then we also have the Learn to Skate that is started by Dan Smith and the new figure skating coach. So any kid right now can walk into the MARC and get free programming at this point. It doesn't matter what your financials are, it doesn't matter what the needs are. We have enough money in those accounts that can provide any program to any of the children that want to come in if they need so. Also, along with that, we are working with a few community members to start a busing scholarship program where we will bus people from different towns around the county to the MARC to get free swim lessons on Sunday afternoon. So if you know someone that maybe can't get here for transportation-wise, stay tuned. We will have a bus route through GG&C that will pick up kids from neighboring towns to get them swim lessons, because we do believe that that is important for us to take care of everyone in the community. So with that, I will take any questions you may have before I let John come up and kind of just do his presentation.
What kind of shape is the roof over the pool?
It's brand new. So
Brand new.
Yep, it's brand new. So we have about 3 years ago we had an ice storm and it took down the outer shell of our roof. Insurance paid for a new roof about 3 years ago. So we shouldn't need another roof. Those lifespans are 15, 17 years. So, and if you notice in our capital accounts, we do have funds that we're starting to moving towards newer things. Instead of waiting until something bad happens, we are now starting to put funds in capital improvements like Zamboni and Battle of the Badges is helping, and these other little fundraisers are going into those capital accounts.
Okay, in the future, when it becomes necessary to replace the roof, are there more energy-friendly alternatives than the kind of roof we have now, like a permanent roof that can be well insulated?
That's correct. So there are some other opportunities that are going to present itself, I would assume, in the next 15 years that's going to allow us to do a little more engineering, and I think that's what the conditions assessment will help us with, knowing exactly what we need to do. We do know that roof was put on 15 feet a little too high, and so when that happened, obviously there was a little bit of energy waste, for lack of a better word. So we're hoping that going forward, when we start to do these new plans, we're looking into what's going to be the best for the MARC energy-wise long-term, not just getting it done. The MARC is trying to not wait for a crisis to happen before it starts replacing things. It starts to look forward.
Financially, what will the effect on the MARC be from the closure of the biomass?
We have been running on our own boilers for over a year now.
Okay.
They've known about these leaks. And so there's been a lot of debate between the Crawford Tech and Crawford Central to see exactly what we were going to do. And we were just kind of waiting in the wings to see, because the leak was on our side. So we had already closed our pipes from December of last year, so December 2023. So we've been running on our own boilers, and financially it looks about the same.
Looks about the same.
Yeah, because we did install, in 2018, we did install sensors to see what kind of water was coming in and what kind of water was going out. And with the way we heat our pool, we were actually sometimes sending hotter water back than what we were actually receiving. So it was an interesting conundrum that we can run on our own and be energy independent.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Autumn, do you have any questions?
Yeah, thanks. Just maybe piggybacking off of Jim's points, less of a question and maybe an offer. I'm hoping that, first, thanks Aaron and Ed, and I'm really glad to hear that the city's gonna support a conditions assessment. And yeah, and I hope that can include building efficiency, beyond the roof, right? Like there's lots of ways in which the building if efficiency can be improved, I'm sure. And right, we've got resources now to do that already, right? We can get Green Building Alliance to kind of do an assessment of the building, maybe both in the short term to know what kind of changes that the mark can make to save money now, and then in the long term, as we look at capital improvements on the building. So more of an offer, but really glad that this is on your radar, and thanks for planning and being a good steward of this community resource.
Thank you, Autumn.
Yeah.
Questions?
No, I'm good.
Oh, yeah. I don't really have any questions. I appreciate the work that you put in, Aaron. You're there every single day, right? Putting your time and energy into a place that Meadville is so honored and so blessed to have, right? Like, and same with the kids, and you've been able to bring it back to a community, right? A community, my daughter's calling, of course, at the same time. So, anyway, a community resource that that brings in the kids, right? Like, regardless of their status or how much money their parents make, and it just is refreshing to know that you're putting people first, and you're working so hard for a place like that. So I appreciate you. We appreciate you, and Meadville appreciates you, and all the work that you guys are doing to make it such, understanding how great of a place it is. So thank you.
All right, John, would you like to say a few words?
I'll leave this up here. John Ziegler, I've been your representative for quite a few years now. Honored to do so, and it's always good to bring good news back to the council with things that are going on. We've been a lot of years where we came in crisis situations, so this year's not one of those. And I think you get a feel how the money's being put back into the facility, and once you get some traction, you're able to do more positive things like address scholarships, address other needs from the garden to pickleball that we can keep up with. We're nimble up there. We're following the trends. If volleyball is back up again, I'm sure we'll have big volleyball courts again. But right now it's pickleball. So we're able to follow those trends and yet address things like energy efficiency. LED lighting's been, we've completed that. Of all the LED lighting outdoors and indoors for that, and new light fixtures. So you'd say, well, you're saving money. Well, we're just repurposing money into some other thing. The $30,000 took for the pumps is probably some of the money we saved on lighting, and that's the way it goes with that facility. We've had some fundraisers for the 50 on 50 to celebrate 50 years to raise money for the rec complex. And a lot of those funds are going into long-term capital improvement, so that we're ready for what happens next with it, or to be ready to address what's going to happen next. Support the next group that comes in, whether it's swimming or you pick the sport, you pick the activity. We want to be in position to be able to supply that to the community. And you can't say enough about the community partners, the people that have stepped forward over the years to help out that and have a true love for the rec complex. That comes in the 50th year. We get letters all the time how I grew up there at the rec, and I want to give something back, and people will send a check, or they make an offer for a scholarship, and this out of the blue. They remember, okay, 50 years ago or less, I was part of that. And they really want to give back. So the impact sometimes you don't know till you get a letter like that that comes back, and what people from our community gain from being a part of that with it. Do you guys have any questions?
I did want to, I know what the next thing we're doing, what is the parking lot? Is that Is that getting done this?
So there is some, we are looking at resurfacing parts of the parking lot that go along, and with amphitheater, I think that's part of the amphitheater project that's ongoing. So, yeah, I believe we're coming to a very good agreement that's good for the city and good for the rec complex on resurfacing some part of those parking lots that need it, yes.
Yeah, and just the last thing, you mentioned an amphitheater, but maybe people don't know what you're talking about there, like what.
Yeah, so that was.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
It's okay. So the amphitheater project is an ongoing project that we are working on right now. Actually, I talked to Roger today. We will be putting that out to bid the week after Thanksgiving, and we'll be closing the bids in mid-December. Basically, what it's going to be is going to be amphitheater at the top of the upper parking lot, with the main parking lot, the small one, at the end, and then we're going to look resurfacing, landscaping that area so that people can come and enjoy, whether it's theater, whether it's music, whether it's a family reunion. It's going to have a lot of purposes, and I think it's just going to bring another community to the mark, because that's what we want to do. You know, we have a lot of recreation there, and I think this will give us a lot more to offer for the community. So it could be classes.
It's sponsored for it.
Yeah, yep, and we do have a sponsor for it. We're not gonna name the sponsor yet, but we do have a sponsor for it, so there
Well,
will
just
be
want to let
a
everybody know
reveal.
that we're not spending money that direction. You know, that's not the reason it was pursued. It's a good thing, but it was sponsored.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Definitely a resource for the community, yeah.
it will be. It'll be built into it, you know. Much like the skate park that's down there, that sometimes, you know, is forgotten till you hear how one of the kids skated there for years, and that's one of their memories, being able to get down there and skate in that park. So we thank the city for the support. We really do. I think, I know that the recreational resources, the money's available, is invested in the mark to be able to do that, and it's appreciated that that's where it goes. They're trying to make the absolute best out of those funds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Being the liaison, I think this is a really great group of people working together, and they're also very humble. Like Erin is doing, and Jeremiah and the staff and the board are doing really amazing things, and they didn't even want to mention the amphitheater because it was like, it's not, the bids aren't there. So I was like, you're not going to say, no, not until, you know. So they have, you know, they're really a great team, really forward thinking. And I just love that the MARF has got this idea of a foundation so that we have money into the future and can just kind of grow that. And so thank you guys so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
I have I think it's maybe more of a question for Marianne and or April, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I just want to make sure I'm understanding in our budget. Is the transfer out of our general fund expenditures, is that what goes to the mark? Because that looks consistent. Yeah, sorry. What are we talking about in funding for the mark this year? Yeah.
Is it 130,000?
I told you.
There's a-
Yeah, what is it?
Where are you at in there, Autumn?
Yes, page.
Sorry, I'm seeing page 34, I'm seeing the transfer out is $125,000. It's my understanding that that's what we've consistently given to the mark, and I'm just making sure that we're talking about
Yes.
consistent,
Yeah.
you know, that we're not changing anything. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure we're looking at the same line.
Yeah. Early.
Thanks, Autumn, for the clarification. Okay, so notice of executive session meetings?
On Tuesday, November 12th, there was an executive session regarding personnel.
Approval of minutes, October 15th, 2024, regular meeting minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Myers,
Aye.
Roa,
Aye.
Vogel,
Aye.
Kinder.
Aye. Approval of minutes, November 12th, 2024, study session minutes. Can I have a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Myers,
Aye.
Roa,
Aye.
Vogel,
Aye.
Kinder.
Aye. Communications.
Included in your packet is a letter from the Meadville Independent Business Alliance requesting the free 2-hour holiday parking. There is a section under new business to vote on that request.
Okay. And then manager's report.
Just very briefly, 55 right to know requests, up to $3,000 in legal fees. General city updates, I don't have too much at this time. We are starting to get solar bids in. Those are due on Friday for the solar project on the DEP building. Anticipate that those be awarded at council's December 3rd meeting. I do have another exciting grant awards that I got a phone call from the state about today, but I can't say anything publicly until the state releases their press release. So, forthcoming.
Okay, what a teaser.
I know.
Stay tuned. Old business, discussion 2025 budget. Yes,
Here we are.
Here we are.
So you have in front of you your fully printed 2025 budget that is balanced. Last week we went over.
If you could just say that one more time. Go ahead, say that and live in it for a
2025
second.
balanced budget.
Right.
Yes, so, there is some new inserts, other than what you were given last week. Some demographics of the city itself, to kind of, put into perspective, where our citizens are at. Along with a little blurb on history of the city on page 11. Continuing on, you will have on page 14 a strategic plan. We kind of reviewed this last week. Page 14 kind of gives a breakdown of each of the department's goals for 2025. So this is each department director sat down, discussed what they would like for their department, where they see some things happening in their departments. From there, from page 18 through is a fund summary. So each fund is broken down by revenue and expenditure. You're going to see general, special, parking, DEP, stormwater, all listed through there. Just as a reference, this is a lot of information. You're gonna see from 2023 on. On page 20, if a line item, this is a new software, just to remind everyone, that we have built the budget with. On page 20, about halfway down this long list of revenues, you're gonna see vehicle rental, $175,000. That is not vehicle rental. So what happens is this software takes our ERP software, our accounting software that we use, takes all the information in. It is granular. So when you take that and then you look again on page 27, just about halfway down in bold on the left-hand side, you will see vehicle rental underneath municipal service fee. So it's just how that revenue line item was created. The software picks up the mapping of the wording. So that's how granular this software gets.
Can you just tell us what a municipal service fee means?
That is the municipal service fee is, you wanna help me out on the explanation from Allegheny?
They're the payment in lieu of taxes. They're in any contracts that we might have with those MMC, Allegheny for services.
Okay, which is separate from the pilot.
Which is the pilot or separate from the pilot?
It is the pilot for that.
Well, there is a payment in lieu of taxes line in that revenue activity.
And
Is that
that
separate?
is for the properties throughout the city.
Okay, okay.
So I think, payment in lieu of taxes is a technical term. So these are just services that you're providing to other entities that may be operating as payment in lieu of taxes, but don't have that technical, don't fit the technical box.
It's quiet, it's like, I want to be quiet.
It's a lot of information.
It's like processing why it would be vehicle rental and then, right, like, and then payment in lieu of taxes is not.
So
payment
it's
in lieu
on
of-
our
do you know what I
end,
mean? Like,
whenever we
it's-
just
yeah.
create the number, like we put in the numbers of the DCED code and things like that, it's picking up something how it was copied from vehicle rental. It's something that I would have to go through on our ERP software and clean up. No offense, I got other things that will.
So far,
we'll
yeah,
move
yeah.
Down the line on that one.
Got
Now,
it.
the main point is, you have set out in great detail where the sources of revenue are, so we can see them at a glance just by looking at
Yeah,
the graph at the top.
yep.
Great job.
Yeah.
So going through the pages will be all of your funds, and then we move on to page 64. I'm sorry, 63. So from 63 moving forward, these are the department expenditures for 2025. So this is your breakdown of police, fire, public works, management, finance, a breakdown here. Just kind of, I thought I would just kind of give you kind of a highlight of each department. Police, this year, we did budget in to cover their body cameras. So those are a new budget item for the police. 2 pages next, on page 65, is the fire department. Fire department requested extra training this year, so we were able to budget a little bit there for them. On page 67 is Public Works. Public Works is steady Eddie this year, so they, their budget did not change. Comparing what they've spent for 2024, they're right on. Page 69 is the Finance Department. Some adjustments were made. Under the Finance Department, we cover the IT costs. That includes my ERP software, this budgeting software, and all software throughout the city. Then page 71 is city management. Just to let you know, we did discuss this a little bit last meeting. The rental registration program is under this department. So that's why that, you'll see that line of services that jumped 38%. That is where that is housed under this department. And then continuing on is just a fund overview and then a review of city debt. Any questions?
I see that our costs have actually gone down for at least 2 departments, if not all 3. That largely has to do with some ways of counting MMOs.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Thank you.
So one of the things that we discussed is something for citizens of Meadville to be able to see the budget. This is a lot of information for anyone to look at. One of the perks to these software that we are now using is a transparency page. So if you turn your attention to the TV, they have a page within our site that will be available to the public. And what this is, it just kind of gives a demographic shot of the city of Meadville, what is in your budget book. So think of this as a quick review for anyone that this is a lot, but they want to kind of have an interest in. There will be a breakdown, where are we at, of revenues for each year up above. Kind of a breakdown here. One of the things that I think will become interesting, see if it pops up. Whenever you go to expenditures, and should be popping up. It's not. Refresh. There we go. Property taxes, where do your property taxes go? So in this line, right here, this box here, you can punch in what you spend in property tax, show my contributions, and it will break down public safety. If you paid $2,500 in property tax, just jumping a number, you would pay $1,000 and 10 will go towards public safety, 953 to general government, 264 to highways, roads, and streets, sanitation, and recreation. So it breaks down exactly where your tax dollars go. And I didn't have to do math. So this will be available on our website. We're having a little bit of an issue just with the website has to embed this in. But this will be available for anyone to hop on. So it'll be cityofmeadville.cleargov.com.
Will you go down on that? There was when you had it on demographic, does that say that our population has grown 610%? Do you see that, the population?
It's higher than
12,999?
state median.
Okay, I can't see what it says, so I'm, even with these glasses on, I can't see, but I saw a plus sign and a 610, so I'm like.
Yep, so it's
what is
based
that?
off of census data for the state.
Okay.
Yep, and the same data and more is in your book, so if you're
Fantastic.
curious.
Yeah. And the full budget's already up on the website, so this version is already up on the website for people to view. There's a quick link in the beginning of the website, and then it's actually embedded in the finance department.
Oh, fantastic.
So it isn't under, where did I try to find it? I can't remember. I was like, I just got the old ones. But that was it up today, like at 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just was me not navigating well.
Yep, under finance.
Under finance, okay.
Yep. So this will be something that will be up all year long. So we can just rotate it every budget season. We'll just
Fantastic.
rotate it over.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Autumn, do you have any other questions?
I don't have questions. I will just express just lots and lots of gratitude to staff, and there's just so much about this budget that I love, that it is balanced, that it lays out strategic priorities and actually incorporates those into department anticipated expenses. I think that makes a lot of sense, and yeah, that it makes it easier for people, hopefully, to kind of understand where their tax dollars are going. I think I'm just really excited that that's baked in, and yeah, just very grateful to April and the whole team for making it possible. I guess I do wonder, just high level summaries, and maybe it's not worth asking, but I just feel like, right, we've been in such a this pattern of having really bleak budgets and really it's doom and gloom every year, and we're not in that, and I want people to understand what the big levers were that we were able to pull to change that, right? I mean, I know that there's little bits here and there. I think Can we just like summarize those in a list quickly? What the
Right.
big shifts are? Yeah.
Like in you mean in
Yeah.
the last 3 years, what we've done to go from needing almost $1 million, right? Like to being a balanced budget, and that arc in the last couple of years that, right, it was doom and gloom, and then, right.
Sure, so I think if April can chime in on this too, but I think a lot of it has to do with the budget software too, because you can go in, and April took lots and lots of time, I mean, here every single day, like Saturday, Sundays included, working on it, pulling apart all of the budgets, and essentially just starting a budget from scratch, rather than trying to build off of years of previous budgets and working that route. Really taking a look and starting fresh, I think was one big help. And also doing a true cost allocation, to Jim's point, this is relatively true cost budgeting. What our actual expenses are, what our actual revenues are, and taking those into account. I think those are two of the biggest factors in making this budget what it is.
We're talking about this budget, but what I want to point out is the hard work and vision that has brought us years from deficit to a balanced budget, right? That is thinking outside of the box, that is pensions to police to get, and then we can recruit police, and then we can have, right, like get, you know, the Meadville Medical Center deal, the deal with Vernon, right? Like this is a bigger thing than budget software. This is good management, this is hard work, this is being able to understand that when you put people first, you move a budget, when you care about the town and the people who live in a city, right? And the people who work for a city care about the people in the city, right? And are able to see in decades instead of scrambling all the time and reacting. You are able in years to go from deficit, needing money from the federal government, to a balanced budget, because we care about people, and in Meadville we care about each other, and we put the people who live here first. So I think that was good, right, the answer you gave, but what you're leaving out is all of the hard work and thinking outside the box, and an ambulance service, and hiring people, right, and bringing deficit down while you're hiring people. Like, think about that. Livable wage, hiring people, and you brought a deficit down. Let's not skate over that, right? Let's not do that, because it is hard work, and it is something that people thought couldn't be done, right? So it's a big deal, and we live in a really magical place, and you guys are doing an awesome job, and we appreciate the work, and so do the people who live here. So I just, right, like, that was a good answer, right? Like, budgeting software sounds great, right? But that's not the truth, and it's not software that gets us here. No amount of software is going to get us to a place that we have come in the numbers that you have given us, April. So, I think that's more of what you were asking, Autumn, or I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll say something, my
Yes.
turn. I think too, you know, Marianne and I both stepped in and put our heads together that this isn't just a her and I problem. This is everyone on the staff working as a team. And again, breaking everything apart, looking at it, and then looking at it differently. It's, you know, is there things that need to be updated? Are there ways, you know, our grant funding has increased hundreds of percent to help cover costs. So we're not looking at it the way it's always been looked at. And I think that kind of helped shed a new light on how to balance.
Yeah, I feel like that's really evident, April, like in particular, like I think the fire department, right? Like, you know, they were really brought in to a solution, both, you know, that we were experiencing in terms of emergency services response and a strain on our resources, but also into a solution that, yes, would allow us to bring in a little money for that department to offset expenses, right, that they were incurring And now, right, they're in on the budgeting process and can say like, we need to train people, and then our budget is a real budget that isn't just made up numbers that says, okay, well, if we need to train people and run this department, right, like this is what it looks like to factor in those costs. Right, so just, I think I see that evidently, what you're talking about, April, like that process of bringing in, making it almost like a team effort, you know, and bringing in departments to help us solve the problem rather than just come in at the end of the year and give us their pitch, right, for like why we shouldn't slash their budgets, which is a totally different like approach. So I'm just really, really grateful for that, for that approach to managing it that you and Mary Ann, I think, have demonstrated.
Yeah. It's a different budget, right? I mean, the Mark was here before, right? Because we were scared of giving money a couple years ago, right? Like we weren't sure how to do that, and now it's not right, like, oh yeah, it's in there, and we've got departments asking for more training and able to just put it in the budget. That, I mean, I don't know. I'm super proud right now and sitting in a place of celebration, right? We're not working in scarcity right at this moment. We are working in abundance because we care about the people who live here. We love the people who live here. Yeah.
I don't know if it's abundance, but
Well, you're not quite. Don't quote me on abundance, but you know what I mean. Like it's a different way of thinking. Yes, thank you. Pull me right back in. Pull me right back. Does anybody have anything else to say about the budget? Or is that the end of your presentation? Yep. Okay.
So the only thing I have to add is that, so December 3rd will be first and second reading of the budget. There'll be at 5:45 a public hearing prior to that, and then December 17th, I think is the next two Tuesdays from then. That'll be third and final reading with a public hearing 15 minutes prior to the council meeting, which those council meetings will start at 6 p.m.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again. Okay. New business, resolution, authorized signatures, free 2-hour parking during holiday season. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
So as you saw, you received a communication from Meadville regarding their request for the free holiday parking. A map is included in your packet of the locations of that free holiday parking. It's the same, this map has been updated since last year to reflect what is actually bagged, which is a few more meters extending along, I believe it's Market Street. We proposed that the free holiday parking runs from Friday, November 29th through Friday, January 3rd.
Does anybody have any question on that?
Okay, this includes the Academy lot and part of the Robert Smith lot and part of Park Avenue Central. So it's on-street and off-street both, looks like.
Yeah.
Correct.
Excellent.
Okay, roll call.
A resolution of the Council of the City of Meadville authorizing 2-hour free holiday parking within the city. Myers,
Aye.
Roa,
Hi.
Vogel,
Aye.
Kinder.
Aye. Public comment on non-agenda items?
None.
Council member statements? Jim?
Oh, thanks. First of all, let me repeat, thank you to the staff for a phenomenal job on the budget and everything else that you do. Thank you to the volunteers for everything you do with the rec complex and all our volunteers. We wouldn't be a city without you. So your efforts are appreciated. Little public service announcement. When when you were growing up, you were always taught to turn out the lights when you leave a room. Street lights are a little different matter. If a street light is not out, we are actually paying for electricity. So if you see a street light out, please get the telephone pole number, call down to City Hall, and they'll get it to the right person. That would be Nathan, wouldn't it?
Okay.
And finally, this is the time of year when family and friends and those we love get together. and we appreciate our blessings, so happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thanks, Jim. Gretchen?
I just ditto what Jim said, and thanks to everyone. Also, the lights look amazing. The street, all the holiday lights, I'm really excited. It was great just to see that, bring a little joy into our lives, so thank you.
Adam?
Yeah, just thanks for connecting me in. Glad to be part of this discussion tonight. Like others have said, really, really grateful for and to our staff for the work they do all year to keep our city running, and likewise to members of who serve on boards, authorities, and commissions like Ed and John. Sorry I didn't see you on the YouTube before, but I'm glad that you're here tonight too. Folks who serve in volunteer capacities and folks who do the work every day, like Aaron. So yeah, just really, really grateful. And yeah, the streetlights do look beautiful. The snowflakes makes me thinking about them right now. I really want to come home. And it might be Penelec that you call when streetlights are out. I just want to note that in case Nathan gets a flood of calls that he can't feel. But I think when a streetlight,
Did he?
yeah.
He already got a flood, I guess. Yes.
Oh, okay, great, yeah, so we can, yeah, kind of like I think there's a way to report them too on the website. I've done that. You can go on their website and report streetlights that are out, but it's Penelec that fixes them and us that foots the bill, so Jim is right. We should report it. See something, say something.
Right on.
Thanks.
I think I said most of the stuff that I would say. Again, except, thank you to everybody and everybody that volunteers and lives here and makes this place so special. And to truly understand that this place is special, I've gotten calls about our balanced budget, right, and how we got there. I've gotten calls about the unhoused task force, right, that people want to talk to people about those things that we can do in small towns and towns like this, where we can just come together and start to think of solutions, where in bigger cities, right, it's a lot harder to do. So this is a cool spot, and I think we should just sit in that for a second and really find our joy here, and thank the people that are doing so much hard work, and that's the city of Meadville, the people who work here. And also, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and remind everybody that Light Up Night is the first Friday, right, of December, and we want to invite as many people in to come and see us. We look like a Hallmark movie during Light Up Night, and I just love it so much. And Santa Claus is there. I'm not going to talk about him tonight too much because I get starstruck. So I just want everybody to know that he stops here that night. So invite all of your family and get here and enjoy that night. It is just such a beautiful night for Meadville. And with that, I will go ahead.
Oh, it's Mary Meadville. I don't want us to have to pay any
Mary Meadville. No more money
Awesome.
spent to Pittsburgh.
bill for Light Up Night.
Yes, Mary Meadville. Excuse me,
Even more
I
Hallmark.
misspoke. Goodness. If they have a problem, we tell them they can ask me. Right.
Pittsburgh's Light Up Night Saturday, this
Okay.
Saturday, so.
This Saturday. Okay. So.
They get a
yeah.
shout out.
And with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Myers,
Aye.
Roa,
Aye.
Vogel,
Aye.
Kinder.
Aye.
So you, can you do
Sometime
one of
before.
these?